Hey folks, how's it going? This is Mike, Gray 1951, and I'm here to do another entry in the Movies from A to Z series, and now we're all up to the letter D, okay? So I had a hard time finding a movie starting with the letter D that I hadn't seen yet in my collection, so I decided to go with a classic, a true classic that I've seen many times and that I love very much, and hopefully I can recommend that you watch it and try to turn people onto it. It's from the year 1939, and that was probably, it's considered by most critics to have been the greatest year in American cinema. It's the year of Gone with the Wind, The Wizard of Oz, and so many other classics that people remember. And it was also a fantastic year for Bette Davis, who in 1939, by 1939 she had already won 2 Academy Awards, and she was at the peak of her career, her popularity as an actress and a movie star. She was a movie star who was considered to be a great actress first of all, and that, in a way that was kind of unusual. And in the year 1939 she had 4 major films in release, all of which were very different and all of which were incredibly successful both with the critics and with the audiences. And the first one she had released that year was this film, Dark Victory. You can see that all right? Dark Victory. And another Academy Award nomination for Bette Davis in this film. Truly one of the best things she ever did. And in this film, well, I guess you have to consider this to be, well, you can't help but consider it to be a soap opera and what they used to call back in the day a woman's picture, right? A 3-handkerchief weeper and all that sort of thing. And given to anybody else but Bette Davis, it may not have been as good. It probably would not have been as good, but just by the sheer force of her power as an actress, and because she believes so much in the story, she made it wonderful. She made it a classic, and I can't imagine that anybody would not be moved by this film and by this performance. She plays an heiress, a very wealthy young woman named Judith Hearne, who's living the high life, just going from one party to another, one dance to another, riding her horses, and just basically doing nothing but having a wonderful, rich person's life. And then she starts to have trouble with her vision and her coordination. She starts fainting, and she goes to a doctor and finds out that she has a brain tumor and needs to have surgery. And that's all I'm going to tell you about the story. I don't want to give away any more surprises or any more plot points, because there are so many twists and turns in the story and so many amazing things that happen that I like. For those of you who see this the first time, I don't want to give anything away. So anyway, that's it. I'm not going to tell you anymore. This is a film that also stars George Brent, who as the doctor, who was also Bette Davis's most frequent co-star. Very good actor of the period. Also with Geraldine Fitzgerald, who was an English actress making her film debut. She's very good in this. Also Humphrey Bogart, in a very different kind of role for him. He, well, in 1939, he was not yet the big star that he would be a couple of years later after he did The Maltese Falcon. And in this one he plays a good guy, and it's very interesting to watch him. And also, who else? Great character actors like Cora Witherspoon, Henry Travers, and also a very young Ronald Reagan. Yes, that Ronald Reagan. Long before he got into politics, and he's pretty good. It's pretty good to watch, actually. And the director was Edmund Goulding. Now the kind of an interesting backstory about how this film came to be made in the first place. It was a Broadway play back in 1934, I believe, ran for 54 performances before it closed, and it was starring Tallulah Bankhead. It just didn't work out at all. And then the movie rights were bought by producer David O. Selznick, who kind of kept it on the table for a while. When Bette Davis heard about this story, she knew that it would make a great film and it would be a great part for her. So she went to the head of the studio, Jack Warner, and producers in the Warner Brothers studio, and she campaigned for it to be bought for her. And Jack Warner gave in because he said to keep peace in the family, because when she wanted something, she would just hound him and hound him and hound him until he finally would give in. So he was not necessarily thinking that it was a good idea, but he bought it for her. It was given an A picture budget of about $800,000, And when it was made, it was just a huge, huge success. And this seems to be one of the Bette Davis classic films that most people, when they remember her and that period of her career, this is one of the films that they usually remember, Dark Victory. So I just highly recommend this to people. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm leaving out that I wanted to say. I guess not really. Just a good classic film. If you would like to see Bette Davis, a young Bette Davis, this is 11 years before she did All About Eve. And yeah, at the very peak of her career as an actress and as a very popular movie star, I think this would be an excellent place to start. So that's my film from the letter D, Dark Victory. Comments are welcome.